Live? Are we doing this live? Yeah, we're live. Looks like it. Tell me we got a signal. Is this all good? Can you hear me? Don't you love it when shows start like that? Is this live? Is this mic check working whatsoever? Well, it is. Excuse me. My apologies. Okay, we're going to start off live today, and we're doing live stream right now on YouTube. I hope that you can hear me. And but this is going to be uploaded later. We're going to redo this. But it's a bit more important to get the news out right away. Al Jazeera this morning. If you think you're informed, even in the most remote way on mainstream news, you have another thing coming. On Al Jazeera this morning, they talked about the Atlantic Conveyor. And when I say the words Atlantic Conveyor, if that doesn't cause a chill to run up your spine, you're probably informed by Western media. So about a decade ago, we started listening to the climate scientists because they're scientists and they don't run websites. And they talked about two scenarios with the climate change that's occurring. Number one, we just burn right off the planet. Check out Australia. It's happening. And number two, that it disrupts the Atlantic Conveyor, which is the ocean's tidal currents and currents. There's a current that runs around the world right now that keeps the northern hemisphere from freezing. It's called the Atlantic Conveyor. Now, if you don't know about this, yeah, you've probably been informed by Western media, because Western media will not tell you anything that might disrupt the flow of money to the oligarchs. The oligarchs have profited from consumer mentality, and that's their whole world. That's what their whole world is built off of. And that consumerism has caused massive climate change and destabilized the Atlantic Conveyor. The Al Jazeera this morning says concern grows over the Atlantic Ocean conveyor belt shutdown. The effects of climate change are slowing a key ocean circulation system with immense consequences for Earth's climate if it collapses. Temperatures in Europe and Eastern North America would drop by as much as 5 degrees Celsius if the circulation system collapses, leading to more extreme winter weather. That's not in the future, it's right now. Here we are. It is still, snowing and frozen in Calgary. They tried to do weather forecasts, which vary between 10 degrees between the beginning and the end of the day. Yesterday, they said that it would only get up to -1 degrees. It got up to +6. So if you've ever taken any flight training, like I have, you'll know that weather is vitally important, one of the reasons why we set up the weather system. The story continues and says, for thousands of years, the circulating currents of the Atlantic Ocean have continuously regulated the temperatures of Europe and North America, producing a warming effect that allows them to enjoy relatively moderate weather conditions. But the effects of anthropogenic climate change have diminished the flow of this vast conveyor belt system known as the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation. I hope I got that one right. And recent scientific research suggests it may even be headed for a collapse. The unprecedented slowdown of the vast system has been measured directly since 2004, but an analysis of indirect data says that a longer decline beginning around the mid-19th century and accelerating after 1950 in direct relation to the amount of carbon we started dumping in the atmosphere from the Industrial Revolution. Everything points to a weakening of the AMOC, or the Atlantic Conveyor, says Cybrin Drifthoot. I hope I got that right. An oceanographer at the University of Southampton. The timeline of a potential collapse of the AMOC remains unclear, but the consequences for Earth's climate would be immense. Temperatures in Europe and the East, North America would drop by as much as 5 degrees, and that'll lead to winter weather. Coastal cities, North America would be flooded. It would also disrupt West African and Asian monsoons, which supply vital rainfall crops for tens of millions of people. Oh, but you're informed by CBC and the government. The government is saying that there may be no other information on the internet except for that which it says is important. And of course, mainstream news doesn't report this at all. So if you're paying attention, buckle up, kids. Mainstream news is at it again. You're informed with Radio Free Canada, and I invite you to stay tuned because I'm here for you. But please get informed about the Atlantic Conveyor, the effects of the catastrophic climate change, and start thinking about the fact that 0.001% of the population is controlling all of this and maintaining every last bit of bullshit while not informing us that we better start preparing for fucking reality. But we're the conspiracy theorists. I'm Darren Howard. This is Radio Free Canada. Please get fucking informed. Please just turn off mainstream and quit thinking that you're informed about what's going on, because it's not a conspiracy theory. It's called the Atlantic Conveyor, and if it collapses, we're fucked, and they knew about it. Oh, wait. That's the real story. 10 years ago, I covered this on Radio Free Canada. 10 years ago, I was talking about it because in the 1980s, Brian Burke put out a documentary called After the Warning on After the Warming. Okay, so look it up. Brian Burke, After the Warming. They vilify it online, but it talked about the fact that if the Atlantic Conveyor slows down or is disrupted, we could go into an ice age as a result of catastrophic climate change. The last ice age, or one of the last ice ages, occurred and covered the planet in an ice ball all the way down to the equator and beyond in less than 70 years. In less than 70 years, a 3-mile ice cap formed at the surface of right on top of the North America in 70 years. And that ice ball reached all the way down below the equator. But I mean, that's just science. It's just geology. So, do you think the right people are in charge or should have unlimited destructive power on your life? I'm Darren Howard. It's Radio Free Canada. I'm going to start up the real radio. Well, this is real radio, but I'm going to start up the real radio in just a bit.